They say Athena is the shining beacon of wisdom. But do you ever wonder whose voices have been silenced to create her legend? There's a forbidden chapter, so dark and unsettling that it's been kept from you all this time. If you dare to keep watching, you might discover why some secret should remain lost. You are watching Myth X, where we unravel the dark truths of mythology. Tonight, we pry open the locked doors of ancient tales, revealing the scandalous secrets behind Athena's rise to power. Her story is etched in marble, woven into the tapestry of Greek legends, and repeated throughout history. But beneath the polished surface of wisdom and strategy lies something deeply unsettling. A ruthless ambition, a chain of betrayals, and maybe even a cosmic conspiracy that sealed her place in the pantheon. Let's start at the very beginning, though the beginning itself is a paradox shrouded in cryptic riddles. Her father is Zeus, the Sky Father, the undisputed king of the gods. But that's only part of this disturbing puzzle. Most of us know the popular story. Zeus devoured his first wife, Metis, to prevent a prophecy that her child would overthrow him. Inside his stomach, Metis crafted a helmet and robe for the unborn Athena. When the forging became too loud to bear, Zeus howled in agony, and from his cracked skull emerged the fully armored goddess of wisdom. They call it a miraculous birth, yet few question the brutality of a father swallowing his pregnant wife, or the monstrous implication that Athena was forged amid screams and chaos inside the belly of a god. What they don't often tell you is the twisted psychological imprint this likely left on Athena. Imagine being born from violence, your earliest moments defined by captivity and the devouring of your mother. Could this have seeded a relentless hunger for power, a goddess so determined never to be controlled that she'd do anything, and I mean anything, to secure her throne? The myths are suspiciously silent about her feelings toward her father after that, but the tension simmers beneath every tale. It's easy to see why she might cling to Zeus, ironically forging an unshakable alliance. After all, he's the king of the gods. Allying with him guaranteed her influence in the pantheon. She was his brainchild, literally and figuratively. Together, they projected an image of wisdom and paternal favor. Yet behind that shining facade, there are scraps of evidence suggesting that Athena might have been complicit in Metis' erasure. Some whispered accounts hint that Athena absorbed her mother's power for herself, effectively inheriting the cunning craft of Metis and becoming the strategic mind behind Zeus's reign. If that's true, then her first act in existence was to rob the world of a powerful goddess who might have contested her. We also see dark undertones in how Athena exerts her authority over mortals. Take the infamous tale of Arachne, a mortal weaver so skilled she dared to challenge Athena in a weaving contest. According to the popular version, Arachne was arrogant and foolish, mocking the gods in her tapestry. Athena, so enraged by the mortal's insolence, transformed her into a spider, condemned to spin webs for eternity. Yes, the official version frames Athena as a just but stern deity defending the honor of the pantheon. But ask yourself this: could it be that Arachne's tapestry revealed something the gods wanted kept secret? Something so profoundly threatening to Athena's cultivated image that the only recourse was to snuff out the mortal's voice forever. She used her divine power to stifle any dissent, ensuring nobody would question her or the pantheon's sanitized narratives again. Then there's the case of Medusa, a beautiful priestess of Athena. Medusa found herself desired by Poseidon, the mighty sea god. Depending on the version, Poseidon either seduced or assaulted her right inside Athena's temple. In an act that defies logic, Athena turned her fury on Medusa, transforming the poor victim into a monstrous figure with serpents for hair, a face so horrifying it turned onlookers to stone. Why punish Medusa rather than Poseidon? The standard explanation is that Medusa had sullied Athena's sacred space. But is there a deeper, darker reason? Perhaps Athena perceived Medusa as a threat, another beautiful female figure whose growing influence could undermine her position among the gods. Or maybe she knew better than to oppose a powerful male deity like Poseidon. So she offered up a scapegoat, Medusa. The result was a monstrous abomination, forever exiled, while Athena remained secure in her celestial palace. A savage betrayal that begs the question, was Athena truly the champion of justice? Or was she just another desperate player protecting her power at all costs? Even her name is entangled in cryptic origins. Some say it comes from an older Mycenaean deity, or from an even more ancient goddess worshipped by pre-Hellenic tribes. Could Athena have been a patched-together deity, absorbing local goddesses to consolidate her influence? In other words, was she an amalgamation of older deities whose stories were systematically suppressed and folded into her own? Every time you read about how Athena became the patron deity of Athens by offering the gift of an olive tree, triumphing over Poseidon's saltwater spring, remember that this act might have been more than a mere mythological parable. It could have been a narrative weapon, a symbolic takeover of older cults by forcing them to accept Athena's supremacy or fade into oblivion. Look closer at how the city of Athens venerates her. The Parthenon stands as an iconic tribute, adorned with images celebrating her victories. Yet behind those marble depictions of noble deeds lurks a legacy of fear. She demanded unwavering devotion from the city that bore her name. Legend claims that failing to honor her properly invited misfortune. Perhaps the threat of her wrath was precisely what kept her worshippers in line. After all, if she could turn innocent women into beasts and reduce entire lineages to ruin, who in their right mind would question her? Rather than a motherly protector, she may have been more akin to a despotic tyrant, one who uses wisdom and war hand in hand to maintain an iron grip on power. And then there's her role in the Trojan War. In the famous epic, she plays a pivotal part, aiding the Greeks in their ultimate victory, manipulating events from behind the scenes. She orchestrates strategies, fuels rivalries, and even spurs on acts of violence. While it's often framed as a righteous cause, consider the chaotic outcome. Entire cities burned, thousands perished, and a once thriving region plunged into despair. Athena's cunningly orchestrated the Trojan horse plan, a stroke of brilliance that led to catastrophic bloodshed. Sure, it's praised as a testament to her intellect. But was it simply a cynical ploy to showcase her power on the grandest stage, as if she were reminding mortals and gods alike, cross me and witness absolute devastation? The goddess's darker side also emerges in how she deals with her half-siblings and other Olympians. We see hints of rivalry with Ares, the embodiment of brutal war. The myths always highlight how Athena represents strategic warfare, while Ares embodies blind bloodlust. But some alternative accounts claim Athena's disdain for Ares was more about ambition. She wanted to be the sole authority over war's domain, not merely an alternative. By casting Ares as reckless and barbaric, she emerged as the righteous alternative. It's a subtle character assassination, ensuring she remained the favored war deity among the powerful city-states. In effect, she orchestrated a campaign to ensure worshippers would choose her brand of warfare over Ares's. Control war, and you control life and death itself. A twisted yet effective power play. Let's not forget about the influence of prophecy and oracles. Zeus might have been the king, but oracles swayed entire nations. Priests would interpret the will of the gods, and the entire Greek world would follow. Athena, known for her strategic brilliance, undoubtedly recognized the power of prophecy. Some legends even suggest that she had a hand in controlling certain oracles, feeding them cryptic visions that served her interests. If that sounds far-fetched, remember how she quietly orchestrated so many events without being suspected. Could she have manipulated the outcomes of wars, the rise and fall of heroes, and even the destinies of entire cities by guiding oracles and seers? But how did she maintain her iron grip for so long? Fear, yes, but also knowledge. She was said to dwell in libraries and sanctuaries, places storing the collective wisdom of mankind. By positioning herself as the guardian of wisdom, she effectively policed which knowledge was acceptable and which was forbidden. If a scroll contained secrets that threatened her narrative, perhaps it vanished into the shadows. Countless scholars might have been strong-armed into rewriting history under Athena's watchful gaze. She became synonymous with intellectual pursuits, ensuring that anyone seeking wisdom would eventually bow to her authority. Imagine how easy it would be to silence or banish any damaging truths in a world where she was the final arbiter of knowledge. To keep her power dynamic unchallenged, alliances with other major deities were crucial. She was often on good terms with Hermes, another cunning trickster. While it may appear these two deities just happened to cooperate, think about how each benefited from the other's gifts. Hermes oversaw travel and communication, controlling messages that crisscrossed the mortal and divine realms. Athena needed that flow of information to remain in her favor. If Hermes distributed tales that elevated her status or concealed her misdeeds, she would, in turn, share strategic counsel, ensuring Hermes stayed indispensable to the pantheon. An unspoken pact that further cemented her dominion over all knowledge and cunning. Yet the strangest part of Athena's legend might be the near-total absence of a consort or significant other. Whereas most Olympians were enmeshed in affairs and offsprings, Athena was singularly focused. Some say she was too pure, a virgin goddess who spurned the entanglements of romance. But what if it was something else entirely? A calculated choice to never yield power, to never let another being hold sway over her. Love or partnership might create vulnerabilities, distractions, or potential heirs who could overthrow her own mother. By rejecting these norms, she retained absolute control of her domain. In a pantheon rife with scandalous affairs and warring children, Athena stood apart, untouchable and ever vigilant. We've delved into fragments of myth that may never be fully pieced together. Yet one thing seems certain. Athena's path to immortality was anything but pure. She ascended on a tide of secrecy, forging alliances in the shadows and stifling any voice that threatened her carefully sculpted narrative. And that is the dark truth behind how Athena became and remained a Greek goddess. Let that sink in the next time you hear her name invoked as the paragon of virtue and intellect. Sometimes, wisdom is just a veil for something far more terrifying. Thank you for joining us on Myth X, where we uncover the darkest corners of ancient legends. If you dare to learn more forbidden knowledge about the gods you thought you knew, stay with us. There's always another secret lurking in the shadows, waiting to be unveiled. And remember, the truth, once seen, can never be unseen. Until next time, stay curious and be careful what you wish to discover.